Hello and welcome to a new video. Today we're gonna take a look at the Catch Cup, or kinda the Great League to be fair, because honestly the stuff that a lot of people build is absolutely wild. I feel like I'm literally being in such a big disadvantage because what I see sometimes is crazy, but today we're going to take a look at the team that I was able to build right now. I built, I think, my third Greninja for the Great League right now, but you know, I love my Greninja, so I'm totally fine with this one. Sadly, the one that I built beforehand was from a previous season where I just kept my Greninja, my Froakie alive for that one, so I couldn't use this. So this is going to be one that's fairly decent in the Ultra League that I'm mostly never going to build for the Ultra League. So yeah, it was at least a cheap Pokemon, so it cost me like 25k Stardust for this one. We're going to have a Wigglytuff here, which is amazing, which is so strong that it basically destroyed 3-4 teams on its own. I don't think I have even every win of this team in here right now, because there were like a lot of wins which were like 5 seconds and the opponent saw a Charm user and was like, oh shit, my team was triple weak to Charm. Why did I use a Charm user? The thing is, right now, if you look at the Community Day Pokemon that we had this season, we had Hexorus, we had Poliwrath, and we had Greninja. All of them are weak to Charm. So right now, if I would recommend you to run anything, it would be definitely Charm Pokemon as well. But as far as you get like higher up into the rankings, which I mainly encountered after I played those games here right now with a different team then, I encountered a ton of pure meta lines, like literally pure meta with Medicham, with Bastiodon, with Galarian Stunfisk. I know we had the championship event there, which was definitely very nice for a lot of people to get some very decent Pokemon for PvP. But honestly, like, that was insane, the stuff that I saw. But yeah, those games usually were kind of nice. Here again, a triple weak team to a Charm, which is just insane. And we could take a look a little bit more into our team. We're going to have Malamar here, actually a Pokemon that I kind of wanted to make a video on its own, but I was like, I don't have that many Pokemon for the Catch Cup. I actually built like quite a lot for the Catch Cup, so I can do some content for like upcoming days there as well for this cup, because I feel like it's kind of funny to take a look at like a little bit more of a spicier Great League, usually at least. And so I definitely have some spicier picks coming up as well for the Catch Cup, and I've spent around like 1 million Stardust actually onto this cup, which is fine. We're going to have the what's called the Global Go Fest there on the weekend anyway. I'm going to be able to get enough Stardust back for the upcoming season most likely. We still don't know what kind of spawns we're gonna get, but it's still going to be fine. So yeah, we're going to have actually a lead that I don't really want to encounter. Whimsicott in the lead is a little bit awkward because our backline is so weak against it, but we're going to be able to win the zero shield scenario, allowing us to get a shield advantage, and also allowing us to go into our Malamar, which will be able to farm them all the way down. Getting a ton of energy here is going to be so important. Malamar, super underrated Pokemon, a Pokemon that can actually deal with both like the Psychic type Pokemon as well as like Dark type Pokemon. Great coverage, great typing, great Pokemon, great fast move. Very cool. Can highly recommend you to try out Malamar as well. This Malamar that I built here right now is worse than the Malamar that I have already for Great League, but I want to use this one later on for the Ultra League. So like, even if you already have a lot of Pokemon built, definitely try to still go ahead and build those Pokemon that you maybe want to even run for the Ultra League that doesn't have the best IVs for the Great League, but for the Ultra League they do. And like, those kind of things like really help out a lot for this meta. So my Greninja is basically Ultra League IVs, and also my Malamar's Ultra League IVs, and also my lead is just literally a little bit of a better Pokemon compared to the Wigglytuff that I had prior, so a little bit of an upgrade there for me. So definitely all Pokemon that I built had some purpose. There were also some Pokemon that I built that don't have any purpose at all, and I also accidentally built a wrong Mantine, which maybe I'm going to use in a video later on as well. But I had a really good shiny one from the Go Fest in London, and I literally built a completely different one with horrible IV, so great job me. Never build stuff when you're tired. But here we're going to encounter actually someone that used to watch my Twitch streams quite often back in the day, like early on, so shoutouts to you, definitely remember your name still. But we'll be able to go ahead and go for a Superpower against their Walrein, going to be able to get the knockout. We'll see the Giraffre coming back in here, as I can go ahead and go for a Super Power, and I can swap into my Wigglytuff, knowing that I can still survive one Psychic Fangs from the opponent's Giraffre, and I will be able to go for the Disarming Voice against whatever wants to come in. In this case, it's going to be the opponent's Auroras. allowing me to go into my Greninja, and I'm fairly certain that they're currently even in range where I can just go for the Night Slash and farm them down afterwards. We shield up the wrong move, of course, but it's totally okay, as we just have to hit 2 Night Slashes in order to do enough damage to knock them out, most likely. But here, as you can see, I can just go for the full farm down, and this is going to be a very good game. Next opponent, Pelipper in the lead. Kinda awkward lead, to be fair. It's kind of neutral against us, it's kind of mid for us, but we're going to be able to just go ahead and use a no shield, expecting that they're going to go for the bait, and they did go for the bait, which now allows me to either realign, or I'm just going to keep the energy and go into my Malamar to catch the move and now farm them down with the Psycho Cut, which is going to be amazing for me as I now get a ton of energy, still have the energy stored onto my good friend, the Wigglytuff, and also I will be able to go for superpower now against the opponent's Bastion here, which is wild that they have that build, but yeah, they didn't know about superpower and Malamar most likely, and now they are definitely knowing about it, as they use 1 shield, and also they're going to use now the 2nd shield, which is amazing for me, because now they are in range for 1 Hydro Cannon from my Greninja, and also they don't have shields anymore, so depending on what they're going to have in the back, I should be fine here, as I can try to go for the Hydro Cannon in order to knock out the opponent, and as it turns out, this is going to be enough to knock them out, and they're going to have the Hexorus in the back. Sadly, my Hexorus that I built for the Great League is also one that I had already before this season, so that's kinda awkward, and here we will be able to snipe them with the start move that we had on our Wigglytuff to win this game, and this is going to be a very good game here. This team, by the way, I got an 8-game win streak with this one immediately from the start. When I started playing this team, I got an 8-game win streak immediately, and I only lost to 1 Pokemon that we most are going to see eventually as well. This team is very weak against Venusaur. If you face a Venusaur, a Victory Ball, it's going to be a little bit awkward. Definitely keep this in mind. But here we're going to encounter another Mantine. Mantine is definitely a strong Pokemon. Good thing that I built the wrong one for myself, but we will see here that they're gonna go ahead and go for an Ice Beam to knock me out, but I can swap back into my Wigglytuff, and I don't going to shield anything up here. This is most likely just a Bubble Beam. They didn't get that much fast move through, and it's just the Bubble Beam here as well, as we're going to be able to swap out. They're going to have here in the back the Dunsparce, which I will be able to take a drill run at least, but I can now go ahead and go for the Night Slash to try to get the boost here against the opponent. As it turns out, as they're going to let this move go through, I can go for the Hydro Cannon immediately, and this should knock them out if they're going to let this move go through, and they do let this move go through, allowing me to see the final Pokemon, which is going to be Auroras, and my plan here right now is to go for Charm Down. Charm Down is the way to go for me right now, especially as the opponent decides to use their energy against my Greninja, allowing me to just go ahead, let the move go through, and go for the Charm Down with my Wigglytuff. I have to be a little bit careful here, because if the opponent hits me with a Meteor Beam, we're going to be a little bit in a tough spot there, as we're going to definitely go down from that. But I don't even expect them to get to another Weather Ball here, but they actually did, which still doesn't matter. Wigglytuff is a fairly bulky Pokemon, not that bulky, but bulky enough to take this move, and we can move on into the next game here. Next game, this is definitely my nemesis. This Pokemon is so difficult to deal with this team. But honestly, for the Catch Cup, you always kind of have to think about it that you're not going to be able to get the best team out of there if you're not going to spend like millions of starters, which a lot of people did against me, but here it's going to be a little bit of a tougher one, especially as you're going to see the Powder Snow variant of the Ninetales here right now. Going to be an awkward one, as I can go ahead and go for the knockout with the Weather Ball. My only goal here right now is to get some energy for the Venusaur matchup later on, but as it turns out, Weather Ball against Greninja does not really seem to be resisted, and so I'm gonna go ahead and go for the Night Slash, and it turns out that the opponent going to have in the back, we will find out, the Dugong. Honestly, it is wild what people were able to build this season, but definitely a good Pokemon to build this season. I'm fairly certain that this Pokemon also got their signature moves, I think, during the season. So like during the championship event. So definitely does make sense that they built this one. But here now we're going to be able to go up against the opponent's Venusaur. And there's nothing we can really do here. I'm going to still shield this move up, and I'm still going to try my best just in case we can get still a knockout here, but like honestly, I can try to go for the double Night Slash. I will be able to go for one Night Slash here right now, but they can just let this move go through, and there is nothing I can do. Also, Have you seen the boost yet from Night Slash? Me neither, because I never boost with any move that I have. So yeah, we're going to take a look here now at the matchup against the Quagsire. Definitely an awkward one because Quagsire is a very spammy Pokemon, very strong Pokemon to play right now. And we will see the opponent going for another Mud Bomb, which is going to do some decent damage. Not enough to knock us out or not enough to even get us into a range where we're going to get farmed down yet. At least that's what I thought. And we are correct, as we will be able to go for the superpower against them. Going to get the shield from the opponent as they're going to throw their final move here, and I can let this move go through, which will knock me out here, and I will be able to go into my Greninja, which will be able to go use a shield here right now, and they should be now at a stage where I can go for 3 more fast moves to go for the Night Slash, and this is going to knock out the opponent's Quagsire. Hopefully they're going to have something weak against me in the back, but we will find out shortly. Let's see what comes in here right now. It's going to be the Hexorus, and this is not good for me. I'm going to be able to use a Night Slash here, get some damage onto them, and then swap out. But it's going to be the Pelipper in the back, and yeah, like there's not a lot that I can do here. I'm going to call the bait here that they're going to go for the Weather Ball. They did not. They went for the Hurricane. I will be able to knock out the opponent here right now, but they still have Hexorus. Hexorus has counter, Hexorus has Breaking Swipe, and Greninja is very weak to counter. But luckily, for whatever reason, they decided to go for a charge move here right now, which will allow me to get some free fast moves in, and also going to allow me to go for 2 Night Slashes here right now in order to knock out the opponent. So I don't know why they did this, but I'm totally fine with this. So thanks for that, opponent. Hexorus I don't think if they went for the charge move, I would have, if they didn't went for the charge move, I would have been not able to win this game there, because I would have just been able to farm me down. But like this, I'm totally fine with it. I'm totally fine. I'm also with this Earthquake coming through, as I kind of want to keep the shields for my Greninja. Turns out they have not only the Galarian Stunfisk build, but also the Victory Bell. Honestly, people are wild. Like, I did not expect to see this Pokemon at all. We will be able to charm them down, but now we are locked into this matchup, and I'm really having to hope right now that they're going to have something very weak to Greninja in the back, which I doubt they're going to have. I'm going to still be able to survive this with just a few HP left, and I'm going to be forced to go ahead and go for a charge move here right now. Going to be in the back the Trevenant, which is wild, because Trevenant is a Pokemon that does not want to face Greninja. Yes, we are Water type Pokemon, they are a Grass type Pokemon, but still, they're going to be a Ghost type and we are a Dark type. And the fast move of the opponent is going to be resisted, and our charge move is going to be super effective. And the opponent makes a huge mistake in general to shield up the first moves, because I could boost, of course, but I think they most likely saw my name and were like, they never get any luck anyway with this game and they never boost, so it's fine to just shield the first ones going through. But that was risky from the opponent, because now I still had to go for 2 more moves at the end there, which I would have got the one shot against the opponent if I got the boost eventually before when they used their shield. But going from one Victory Bell into the next Victory Bell, it's not getting prettier here right now. Honestly, the amount of Degen teams that I saw is wild. Like, honestly, yes, I have a Charmander on my team, don't get me wrong, but this is basically the only crazy Degen Pokemon, as we're going to see Victory Bell and Carbink together. Like, who hurt you, man? What the hell, man? I will be able to go for a shield now against the opponent with their Rock side there, but it is ridiculous. I'm gonna go for the Night Slash here, hoping that I get them into farm down range, and maybe that's going to be the best play that I can go for. Turns out I will be able to farm them down. I don't have 2 Night Slashes stored yet. I will be able to go for 1 and at least get the shield from the opponent. And at least, can we find out what Pokemon they're going to have in the back here? I don't know, can we survive this move? We will find out shortly. Leaf Blade comes through and we will never find out what they have in the back. I could imagine something like Bastion, to be fair, with this kind of player. Absolutely ridiculous. Like, the teams that we see are wild. Speaking of wild, definitely weak to the Charm move there, but this was a game where I make a huge mistake. I go for the Hydro Cannon here straight away, which is totally fine, but I shouldn't be as greedy as I am. And I'm always kind of greedy with this game right now. They go for the Sludge Bomb. I thought I would be able to still get to 1 extra over the Night Slash and still get there in time before they get to the Sludge Bomb. Turns out I am not going to be able to do this. And I will be able to farm them all the way down. Now we have to hope that they're going to have something in the back that's going to be weak against me. And they're actually deciding to go into a Dragalge, which me just going straight for the Blind Hydro Cannon was definitely the play to go. But they're going to stay in here, going straight for the Awkward Tail, which is very nice to see, because now they're going to be Energy Dry and they're going to swap into their Greninja. while I am now at 0 shields, I still be able to survive this Hydro Cannon, which is huge, because like this, I will be able to get some more damage onto them, as well as a shield from the opponent, which is really cool for me. As now they are in range for one Night Slash comes through, Night Slash going to get the shield, and Night Slash is going to be an interesting one, because they're actually going to be able to now knock me out with their Hydro Cannon. Now I'm forced to go ahead and go into my Malamar here, which is going to be able to take the Hydro Cannon, but still it's going to be a tough one. Luckily they can catch against me, and I will be able to outspeed the other Pokemon to the next charge move. But just barely. Look at the HP stat. We are so close to going down here, but still Malamar will be able to go for the foul play and knock them out. Final game for today. This is going to be an interesting one as well, as we're going to encounter another Bastion, which is just horrible for us, as we're going to have to go for a superpower. But of course, if you have a Bastion, you also have the Victory Bell in the back, lurking around, and honestly, it is ridiculous. Like, why, people, why do you have like so much Stardust to waste on those Pokemon? But I guess we will be able to at least go ahead and get the switch advantage here. And I expect the opponent to not go into the Bastion, and turns out they go into the Bastion, and I'm now locked into my Pokemon of my Wigglytuff here right now against the Bastion. But what I can do here right now is I can swap out immediately, basically getting rid of the energy of the Bastion in order to get my Greninja into a prime position. Turns out they're going to have another Trevenant in the back, but also I am going to be in a little bit of a worse position, because they were able to catch the move here against me. Now I will get the Night Slash off, and they will get to a charge move here and go for that one. But that's kind of wild. I will be able to go for just 3 more fast moves. I'm nearly at Water Hand Energy. I can go for the Night Slash. One boost, please. We have so many Night Slashes today. And nope, of course not. But the opponent decides to throw for whatever reason. Like this game is over. I have 2 moves stored. I need 2 moves to knock them out. And this is going to be it for today's video. If you enjoyed this video, definitely subscribe to the channel. Check out the video that you see on the screen right now. And yes, Greninja is very strong. And also the Wigglytuff is very strong. Highly recommend you this team if you have the Pokemon. I see you then. Bye bye.